Okay. You know that feeling when you are constantly comparing yourself to others and it puts you in this creative rut. It makes you feel like you cannot access your own, I don't know, unique ideas, and it leaves you feeling completely drained. What if I told you that the way of getting out of all of that is not to have a louder voice, is not to do more, it's not to find the formula for success, but it's simply to be more you. I know that sounds super trite, but I feel like we're living in a world, especially today, where we're looking for the formula for success. We're looking for someone to dictate to us, here's how you unlock being successful. And so we've got a lot of copycats out in the world, right? We've got people who are emulating others. And while oftentimes you'll hear creatives say, there's nothing new in the world, everything is just kind of building on what came prior. There's so much truth to that. But I think the people who unlock um, a unique or especially powerful brand of success are those that put their own stamp on things. And I recently heard a quote. I was watching a Conan O'Brien video where somebody who he was interviewing said that a lot of people don't realize that the way to escape competition is through authenticity. And they think that they need to compete. They think that they need to um, go to war with others who are in a similar field as them in order to be successful. They have to one up each other, right? Not realizing that they can be friends, they can hang, they can learn from each other, because each one of these successful artists, and I think he was talking to Conan specifically about the late night talk show hosts and how like Leno and Dave Letterman and Conan were all doing their own unique thing and that they didn't realize they could hang and have a drink after work. They didn't need to be in competition with each other because what Conan could do was completely different than what Jay Leno could do, right? And so I feel like I was able to tap into this and to discover this for myself when I was working in the corporate world. I was working in a financial firm where I was surrounded by a lot of white male um, energy, right? A lot of people who looked the same, sounded the same, and were, maybe not verbally, but unconsciously was being told that there was a certain way to dress, a certain way to navigate the world in order to become successful in it. And it wasn't until I had my daughter back in 2016 that I realized like this is exhausting. I can't keep trying to play someone else's game. I will never win. I see the rules, but that is not me. That is not my unique stamp. That's not my unique vision, my unique perspective. And it's exhausting trying to be something that I am not. And it wasn't until I started to embrace myself and started to show who I was, not just in the way that I dressed, but the way I wore my hair, but also the way that I led. And I was really loving at the time mindfulness and meditation. And I worked in an innovation lab where I was facilitating a lot of sessions for groups and for teams. And I began starting each session with breathing exercises, with mindfulness exercises, and getting us all grounded and to arrive, not just physically, but energetically. And that's when I started to gain a lot of attention, a lot of success, a lot of people noticing who is this person and where did she come from? And let's invite her to our meeting and have her help facilitate sessions for us because I was doing something different that they didn't normally see or get to try on in this business world setting, right? So again, I think things started to shift when I stopped trying to follow a formula and when I began to just be myself and to showcase the things that I was personally interested in. And so I guess the reason why I'm creating this video is the call to action to you, is what is it that you love doing that really no one else can do in the same way that you do it? Right? That's where the magic lives. It's where competition disappears when you can find your unique spark. And so many different creators and leaders talk about this. You may know Rick Rubin, who is a famous music producer. He talks about this all the time to musical artists about them finding their own um, music that they enjoy creating. What is it, the sound that they want to put out into the world that may not sound like anyone else? It's not that you're trying to copy someone else's sound, it's you just creating your own. And do you have the bravery? Do you have um, the capacity to take the risk of standing alone in yourself? Marie Forleo is another business owner and incredibly successful businesswoman who talks about there's no one in the world like you. You are unique in the world, your perspective, where you come from, how you view things. There's no one else that is you, right? And so when you can put your own creative spark on the work that you do, whatever that is, you're going to find success. It may take time. It may not be an overnight success if there is such a thing, right? We always say overnight success without really acknowledging the many, many years of hard work that it took for that person to get to that overnight success. Um, it took a lot of failures, it took a lot of risks. And so I would say take the risk, right? Experiment, play, and don't be afraid to put out work into the world that doesn't look like anything else, that doesn't sound like anything else, doesn't embody the energy that anyone else embodies. And you will likely find that not only does it feel good to you because you are not betraying yourself, right? You are betraying yourself less. So not only does it begin to feel good to you, not only do you get to start enjoying the process of it, but then you might also find that you're surprised by all of the unique things that come into play for you, the new connections that you're creating, the discoveries. And you'll feel like life feels new, that there's something new, there's something different, there's a seed that you are now planting and allowing for it to grow and to flourish that is different than the other seeds that you see that are being watered, right? There's so many different types of plants out there and trees out there in the world. And they're all beautiful. They're all creating oxygen for us to breathe. And so, yeah, create your own oxygen. Plant that seed, start that project, and see what happens. And don't be afraid to stand out from the crowd. I know that what I'm sharing is probably trite and has been said by many other people. Um, but that's a lesson that I think I'm beginning to learn more and more of as I navigate growing my own business, where I do tarot card readings, where I do coaching sessions as well. And I'm just trying to figure it out as I go along. So the more that I do this process, the more I realize I've got to be me. I have to put my unique stamp on it. And the more fun I have in doing that, I think the better my content will be. So, anyway, try it out. And I hope you're well. I hope you are taking care of yourself and navigating this life with curiosity, and creativity and a lot of energy. So, thank you for listening, for being here, and take care.